Hi everyone! I'm back with episode 12 of the Vintage Made Modern series. Today we're going to talk about the November chapter, which is a thimble full of gratitude. Really interesting piece of a linen embroidery here that I'm going to share some of my collection of pieces similar to this. But this actual image was, this is the original piece that we scanned, and you can see it's an applique, probably a little table mat, maybe for your tea or coffee, and the blanket stitch is what is used to apply these flowers, and you can see the leaves and the vines. Ironically, I have several of these pieces in my collection. I have a smaller version here of a similar design, a little different flower. And then this, again, when we talk about color, this is a little brighter than the first one that we used. And then I also found at one point a set of napkins that had various colors of flowers on them. Here we have a really nice image that was featured on the cover of an inspiration newsletter, and the Be Grateful is the essay this month. And again, this is Mary Brooks Pickens' Words of Wisdom. And it says, and there you have it, service to others, mine to you, yours to me, and others, and so on without end. That is the secret of success. And we go on to have an article about Thanksgiving in the inspiration department. And you can, again, I've showed you many times the graphics that are featured in the book and how charming they are. This is an image of a couple walking to church. And of course, well, for Thanksgiving, we have to talk about the Department of Cookery, right? And what we have here is cranberries, some delicious recipes talking about cranberry sauce and various cranberry meringue pie. We, of course, are getting ready for Christmas, so we have some ideas for Christmas gifts, handkerchiefs, smart bags, and a child's toy bag. And this is a fun page in the book. Little gifts for little fingers. Fun cups and saucers dancing across the bodice or the front of the apron. Bib, that's the word I was looking for. The bib of the apron are quite charming. And here you can see, again, the little faces on the plate in the cup and saucer. So that is featured in this chapter. Of course, fashion is always something that is a part of the chapters of the Vintage Notions book. And this is the Department of Millinery and dress up hats for the holidays. So you can see the graphics along the side of the very stylish hats of the day. And then actually we added the definitions, cloche, around the border there. So the page is, I think, has a nice design to it. On to the magic pattern, right? We have an apron. It's that time of season, the season where you're going to want to have a pretty apron to wear for hosting holiday events. And of course, it's also what we give you the idea for in the book is that it can be a hostess gift for the holidays. So keep that in mind when you're thinking of gifts. And you can see, again, last episode, we talked about bias tape. And here you can see where this version of the apron I actually have right here. And you can see where it has finished with bias tape around the edge. So again, this is the pattern for this month's magic pattern. And what I like about this apron too, I talk about aprons that don't bind you behind the neck. And this is a nice one because it has over the shoulder straps. It also has pockets on the sides. It has a gathered pocket on the side. And lastly, I'm going to talk about buttons. And if you know how much I love vintage buttons, you might be aware of my book that I did called Buttonware. So this is a book that gives you lots and lots of different ideas for ways to turn your treasured buttons or found collections that you have into jewelry, into wearables, lots of fun ideas, little ornaments you can make with buttons. And on the page of this chapter, we have some Bakelite buttons that are featured. So I thought I'd pull a few of my Bakelite buttons from my collection and show them to you. So, and give you an idea of something fun you can do with your buttons maybe. So what we have here, I'll show you these 4 that I pulled out of my collection. And then this is a bracelet that you can see where we stacked buttons and created a fun bracelet. And I know I probably actually bought this bracelet maybe at Quilt Festival in Houston. But the idea I think is pretty straightforward and simple and fun. So I say, you know, if you like Bakelite or collecting vintage, this is a fun way to showcase your buttons. And keep the book in mind as it gives lots of ideas for various ways to make button bracelets. One more thing to show you. I don't know if you know this, but I've shared it. Each season has a pocket in the Vintage Notions book. And so we're moving towards winter right now, but if you can see that the pocket is here, and this is a great place if you have, say, favorite Thanksgiving recipes you want to use year after year. You could keep them in this little pocket, or fabric swatches of maybe a fabric that is a favorite. So this was a pillow, actually, this piece of art that you see here. And I'm going to share with you the original, which is part of the fun we have, or I have, doing this with the Vintage Notion series, or the Vintage Made Modern series. So here you go. This was a pillow cover with applique flowers. And when I found this, what caught my attention was just the simplicity of it. It felt a little modern, and the color, of course. And my guess is the stems we see here on this pillow are actually bias trim. So another idea for bias for you. Well, I'll end it now and say thank you. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving if that's around the corner while you're watching. If you enjoyed the video, follow us we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we have a newsletter that we send out as well. So please follow along.